So
Got it.
I am live on Facebook and I am live on my Facebook page.
Oh, good. Are you?
I am. So I am trying to figure out now where my, let's see, refresh. Hi, everybody. If you're watching already, there we are.
Yeah, we're just doing a little bit of house stuff, telling everybody we're live, we're here.
And
See
here. So it takes a minute just to get everything going because I have to move the screen up so because I can't handle the 7-second delay.
Oh yeah, well I'm not on. Well, I'm gonna try to not stare at it right now. I'm just trying to share that we're live right now.
I forgot about that part. I forgot to mute. All right, so
who's here today? I'm not on.
Mandy. Hi, Mandy. And I'm looking over here, and I'm waving over here, and they're looking at me here. So yeah, Jen. Just so that you know, since you haven't seen us before, we're a little bit discombobulated, but we have a lot of fun. And you are welcome to stick around, you know, after you get done telling us a little bit about what you do, then you're welcome to stick around and have some fun with us. Oh, let me grab the link right quick in case anyone wants to jump in the Zoom with us. There's the link. I'm only posting it in YouTube because Facebook gets a little, we get trolls when we post the link to Zoom on Facebook. So,
okay, there we go.
If you're watching on Facebook and you would like to join us in the Zoom room, hop over to my channel. The link is up there. And, or wait, let me put that in there too.
Let's on. Deborah is on. Hello. Hello.
Mama's on?
Yep, she's on. She's in another room, corralling my children.
That's so funny.
Okay, who else is in the chat here? No one else right now, but since we have 2 people here. Hi, guys. If you can hear us, say hi in the chat. It's going to be a little bit of a delay, but I will answer you on here. Let's see. All right, so today we have a guest. Cheryl, would you like to introduce your guest?
Yes. So Jennifer Olson, we met through a Facebook group which is about business leaders. And she reached out to me and we had a super long, super great chat yesterday. And we had another really great chat this morning before this call started. So I feel like we're already besties. And I am super excited that she could jump on here today. So we had a little bit of a scheduling thing. And so we swapped weeks.
Yeah.
Michelle with Home Title, right, Renee?
Yeah.
So Michelle with Home Title will be here next week and she'll talk about that stuff. And then I'm pretty sure that Adam's going to be the following week after that. And he's going to talk about getting your mortgage contracts ratified in this market. And I think that'll be another great conversation with Adam. I'm looking forward to that. But today we've got Jennifer Olson with us. She is with Pura Vida Consulting. She does business consulting, and she has a whole big toolkit that will help people individually, families, businesses, and there's even a component that if you don't have a side hustle or you want to add a side hustle, and you know how Renee and I are about side hustles and making businesses extra money. So she has that in her pocket too. So I will turn the floor over to Jen and let her tell us all about it.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me on here. I'm excited to be with you, Powerhouse ladies. I know that we just met, Cheryl, and I have so appreciated your vision and the way that you create an impact for your clients in terms of wanting to bring on resources that would be of value to them. And I can imagine that Renee is just the same way as you guys are in business together and doing this. So thanks for letting me be on here. This is fun. I don't think I've ever done anything like this. So I'm going to write in my diary tonight. I did this. I was on live streams in some way, shape, or form, and it was really fun. So I'm excited. So I'll just take the next few minutes, and open to questions and all that good stuff to share what I've got my hands on. I'm here in Washington, D.C. I'm originally from Southern California, and I love the water. So when Renee says she's by the water, I am like all about that. I love being by the water. I love being in the water. Anything to do with it is great. Showers are good, but I'm talking about like fresh bodies of water is awesome. But by trade, by background, I've been a contractor my entire life. And so I've navigated through being a 1099 or sole prop, as I just learned yesterday from Cheryl, and, navigating those waters. And I got my hands on what I'm going to share with you, and I just see what a difference it makes for people who are in business for themselves, who are sole proprietors, who are business owners, or who just have bills like everybody else has, and they don't necessarily want to spend all the money that they've got on these bills. So the first area that I would like to touch on and just share with you is about healthcare. I don't know about you, but I know that I have donated lots and lots of money to insurance companies over the years, and I wasn't sure if that was for me or not. So I've donated money over the years, and I've gotten, value for it. I mean, I'm like, okay, healthcare is something that I need. Which level? That one looks good. Okay, let me do this. But when I got my hands on what I'm going to share with you today, I just saw I was able to do a little deeper dive into what I've had and what we offer, and just seeing the value that it brings to people is absolutely incredible. So I know if you're like me, things that you look for are, what are my monthly premiums going to be? What is my deductible going to be? Can I see the doctor that I want to see? Do I have to pay more if my family and I are traveling and something happens to them? It's going to be out of network. So I know those are questions that go on in people's minds when they're looking for healthcare. And I'm going to share with you the value that ours has for people. And I'll share a couple of slides along the way as well. So we are with we're with a non-traditional approach to health insurance. And it really, the commitment of our nonprofit is to have healthcare be affordable and accessible for people. And these numbers that I'm going to share with you are true for me. The average American individual is paying about $400 to $500 a month for healthcare costs. And the average family is paying around $1,800 a month. And that is very high. These are people who don't have, this was on the marketplace. This was dated in 2021. So I have several people around me who have told me that these are what they pay, if not higher. And then in 2019, 59% of bankruptcies cited medical expenses as a major factor. So people sometimes go without insurance because it's cost prohibitive for them. Or if they're an employer, they're like, yeah, I want to be able to offer healthcare. However, I'm just not at the size yet to have to offer it, and I don't have the finances for it. Well, what if there was a solution for you that you could offer it, you could refer it, or you can offer it as part of, a package that you bring, and it isn't breaking the bank for you? Like, what if that is possible? So I'm going to share with you about our plan, but I'm going to start out with, who is our target customer base? Well, it's individuals and families who are fairly healthy. So you don't have to have perfect health, and I'll go into pre-existing a little bit later, but who are just fairly healthy. Those who are self-employed, who have to get their own healthcare for themselves, independent contractors, gig or part-time workers, and business owners, or those who just don't have insurance. We also can work with people who have insurance and they're getting it deducted from their paycheck, and we can look at it and see if we're a good fit for them, because sometimes what's being deducted can be cut in half, and why not have an instant pay raise and have really comprehensive health care? So what is this that I'm talking about? I've created kind of a need and what we're looking for, but who are we? Well, we're Impact Health Sharing. That's the name of the nonprofit that we're with. And I don't know if you've heard of a health sharing program before, but ours is modernized and robust. It feels and functions like health insurance, which is really incredible. It's a nonprofit. privatized group, kind of like UPS. They do like a self-funded group. And so that's how we operate as well. And it's comprehensive medical care. So it's not just your catastrophic. It covers cancers and heart attacks and, strokes and things like that. But it's also for your colonoscopy, or it's for your sniffles or your infection, or if someone gets in a car accident. It is comprehensive. And I'm going to say this one, and there might be a thought in your head again, like, is it true? But there are no provider networks. So you can see any doctor that you would like to see in the country. And if you're traveling overseas and there's something urgent or an emergency that comes up, you can also see whatever provider you want to see. And then that will go towards your deductible if you haven't met it yet, or, they'll put it within how the program works. But that wouldn't be for something pre-scheduled. That would just be for emergency or urgent if it's out of the country. And then we have unlimited telemedicine. So if you've got kiddos and you don't want to drag them to the urgent care because they've got something and you just need a prescription, you can do video or phone. They can send the prescription, if need be, to the local pharmacy of your choice, which is really convenient. Or if you're a business owner and you don't want to cancel meetings, you can schedule it in between meetings. I've done one. It took about 7 minutes to do, and the doctor was available. It took about 5 minutes, and then everything was taken care of, and I went to CVS and got what I needed to get. And we have
That's nuts.
It's amazing. It's really
My insurance, and I got Blue Cross Blue Shield. They charged me more for a televisit call than they did to go into the doctor's office.
That's crazy.
It's unlimited. It's unlimited. Yeah. And I'm sure, Renee, you could appreciate that with little ones. Like, you don't want to go take the whole family just for a couple of hours to get a prescription. Like, how convenient is that? People could do it on the phone. I'm not encouraging you to be on the phone doing your doctor's appointment, but you could be out and about working with clients or doing what you need to do and not taking away from, your commitments and stuff if you're feeling good enough to be working. And we have great prescription pricing. Sometimes the savings we've seen is 40 to 90% savings. I had a friend of mine who had 2 inhalers. She has asthma, and she was paying $400 for her inhalers on traditional insurance. She came with us and she's paying less than $50 a month. She thought there was something wrong. She called and they're like, no, you gave us the new card. Like, this is what it is. It's absolutely incredible. And then starting, for our youngsters, it could be as low as $73 a month for an individual. And for families of 3 or more, it can start as low as $378 a month, which is amazing. Yeah, it's pretty great. I love this. And this is what you get. Everyone gets a card, just like you would get an insurance card. And if you go to your provider, you would just take this in and give it to them. And here you can see the provider fees. MD Live, which is the telemedicine, $0. Office visits, $50. Urgent care specialist, outpatient services, all $75. And then ER and inpatient, $150. So it's straightforward, it's clear. And then you've got the EDI payer ID on the back, which is in a national database. So that just means that they can type it in and it'll show up in the system. Impact health sharing. Now, if the doctor has any pushback or the provider does, you just say, hey, call the number on the back of the card here. We'll explain how it works. Providers want to know that they're going to get paid. Well, we pay our providers between 10 and 14 days, which is amazing. And that will ease a lot of their concerns. Sometimes people say, you know what, we only work with the companies we know and we're not going to work with you. That's okay. You can submit the bill, you can get the bill, submit it to Impact, and then they'll go ahead and process it like they would any other bill, which is really incredible. So it really is, no network restrictions, no limitations. You get to go where you want to go to see the doctor, which is really, really nice. So I don't know if you're like me, but I would be curious how much it would be to be able to get this. So I'll show you how we can get a quote live on my website. So all we need to know is the year of birth of the oldest person who will be covered, and then how many people it will be, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or more. So a family of 5 or a family of 6 would be the same as a family of 3. So we'll just pretend that this person is 40 years old. That happens to be how old I am, and that they have a family of 5, which would be 3 or more. So what would this look like for a person who's 40 years old and has 5 people in their family? or 3, it would be the same price. So monthly, it would be $605. This would be the most that it would cost, $605 a month. And then there's different tiers. So we have different language within a health sharing program, but I'll use insurance because that's what most people are familiar with. So primary responsibility amount would be the deductible. So you could have a $605 monthly fee for a $2,500 family deductible. That's not per person, which is incredible. And like I said, no in or out of network fees. And then after you meet the deductible, it's a 10-90 split. So me as the member, I'm responsible for 10%, and then Impact will share in 90%. Now that maxes out at $5,000 for the family. Yes, Cheryl.
So we have a question. Mandy asked, do you cover autism and ABA therapy?
Good question. I don't know about ABA therapy. I would have to ask about that. And then in terms of autism, I would want to talk with my enrollment specialist to see what else that might impact. So I will get that information for you, Cheryl. We will make a note of that, and I will get that. That's a great question. I love it.
Okay, and then Roberto's on here too, and he asked, so you pay the bill and you get refunded, but I said, no, you just send the bill in, correct?
Yeah, so you'd be paying your monthly, right? Whether you see, same as any insurance company, right? You pay your monthly whether you use the doctor or not. Once you go to the doctor, you'll pay whatever the provider fee is, like I showed you on that previous page. So let's say you go to a general doctor, it's $50. You pay the $50. They're going to send the bill to Impact. Now, Impact is going to reprice that. Let me go to another part in my slide presentation, and I'll explain how that works. If you just give me a second to go there. So every bill that Impact receives is repriced. That means they negotiate the price for us. And I'll give you an example of that as soon as I bring it up here. Okay. Let me share this. So they'll send the bill to Impact. Impact will do the repricing, and then you'll be responsible if you haven't met your deductible to pay that. And then the 1090 split. So I'll show you what that might look like. So as you can see here, this was a big bill. This isn't going to be your average bill. This is something that happened to a friend of mine who had a ruptured colon. So they had to go into the emergency room, and the bill was sent to Impact. It was $152,000. So Impact went ahead and repriced it. They negotiated with the provider, and the bill went down to $36,000. So now what happens? If I was that member, what would I have to pay? Well, it was an emergency room visit, so it was a $150 copay, and they had not yet met their deductible. They needed to pay $1,500, almost $1,600 out of pocket for the deductible. So remember, there's $2,500 option, $5,000, $7,500, and $10,000. So he had not met his deductible yet, so he had to pay that towards it. And then I told you, after you meet your deductible, it's a 1090 split. Not on the original price that was billed, on the negotiated price that was agreed upon with the provider. So you've got the 150, the 1588, and then what was left of this was 10% of all of that, the 3,600 minus the little fees right here I showed you. Then I would be responsible, if this was my bill, to pay $3,487 of the 1090 split. Now remember, that 1090 split maxes out at $5,000. So this wasn't the only treatment that this gentleman had. He had more, and I would bet that he has met his $5,000 because it was pretty intense. So on this bill, what he had to pay out of pocket was $5,226. So they send the bill to Impact. Impact reprices it. It's always, of course, it's not going to be a $152,000 bill every time you go to the doctor. But let's say it was $1,000 or it was $100. You're going to pay cash until you meet your deductible, and then you're going to pay at 10% increments every time you go until that reaches $5,000. Yes, Cheryl.
So would this bill have met his deductible? Only
yes.
But the $5,200, that all went towards his deductible?
So right here, he had $1,588 left of his deductible because he had already had previous things, or him and his wife had previous things. So he had to pay this to meet his deductible. And once he met it, then the rest of it went towards that 1090 split.
Oh, got
so
it.
The 3487 went towards the 1090 split. So, if he went for more treatment, which he had do, he might have met the 5,000. So if you have a 75, if you have let me go back to the other, screen really quickly. If you picked the plan that has, am I share? Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
75, the primary responsibility amount.
Perfect. Yep. So let's say you picked the lower deductible and you had something really catastrophic happen where it met the 5,000 for this plan for the year, setting aside what you pay monthly, you have to pay that no matter what, you would be out of pocket 7,500. If you had, if someone had a heart attack and they had all of these things have to happen and whatever, it would be millions of dollars that would need to be repriced to max out at the 7,500. So not millions of dollars, I'm sorry, hundreds of thousands of dollars to max out of the 7,500. We good? Roberta, are we good?
Yep, I think so.
Okay. Ask
So
more questions.
Sidegig asked, what if we need insurance, but it's not the open enrollment period? But you told me yesterday that there is no open enrollment period. If they signed up this month, it would go into effect the 1st of next month.
Next month. Exactly. Yeah. So we don't have an open enrollment period as long as you sign up like by the last day of the month before you want to start. So I don't know how many days are in August, but 30 days. 31 days. Thank you. So if you signed up by August 31st, I know, I feel like I should know that by now. If you signed up by August 31st, then you would be able to start September 1st. Yep.
Oh.
There's no limitations in terms of when in the year you can do it. You just need to sign up the month before you get started. So that's a great question. Yeah. Was there another question that came in, Cheryl?
Not on, so reason I asked earlier, I was struggling, my internet was struggling. So I had to turn everything off and I'm looking at the chat on just YouTube. So if you're watching and you're on Facebook, I cannot see your comments. I will get to you after this is over. But if you hop on YouTube, then I can.
Talking about channel, Cheryl.
Well, I was just talking about like my Facebook page, the live on my Facebook. I mean on my personal, because I've got it going to.
Okay, yeah, let me check and see if there's any comments.
But let's see. So Sidegig said thank you.
Okay, nope.
And I think so far we have we're good. We've got all the questions answered. I was listening really good. So I was yesterday and this morning. So I was trying to answer what I could answer.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And if we don't get to questions that we maybe miss or they come up later, we can definitely answer them in the, in the chats or whatnot. And people can have my information and feel free to reach out to me as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about pre-existing because I know this is a big one for people. And I said at the beginning, you don't have to have perfect health, just generally healthy. So let me go ahead and bring up this slide for you. And I'm just going to read it really from here because it's from the guidelines. So the guidelines have all of the information. This is a high level overview of what we have to offer. And you may have specific questions that you may not want to put in a chat or ask publicly, and we can get those questions answered in private for sure. But pre-existing medical conditions are conditions in which known signs, symptoms, testing, diagnosis, treatment, or use of medication occurred within 36 months prior to membership based on medical records. So let's say you had shoulder surgery a year ago and you decided to come with us. Everyone is welcome in our plan, although we're not a good fit for everybody. So you say, hey, I'm healed. Everything's great. Okay, come. You're like not worried about it. If something happens with this and it hasn't been 36 months, you're going to have to pay out of pocket. Well, we'll reprice it for you. Like I showed you before, even if it's not going to be shared in the community, which is really powerful. However, it's not going to be shared within the expenses or go towards your deductible or go towards your 1090 split. So let's say you come on with us and it's shoulder surgery, and then it was a year, 2 years go by, nothing happened. And then it's 3 years and a month and something happens with your shoulder, it will now be shared in our community. That's the same thing for cancer or for other things like that. Any, pre-existing like that, it'll work with within our community, and we'll be able to share it. So it's not an all or nothing. It's not like you can't come to us, but let's say you've got like diabetes or MS, something that impacts a lot of your body systems. We're going to say stick with traditional insurance. But like I said, if it's 3 or more people, it's the same amount. So if you have a family of 5 and one of the people has, some major stuff going on medically, they can come to us at no extra price to the family, take advantage of telemedicine, the repricing, the prescriptions. But you know what? So it's not an all or nothing. And the guidelines are great. As long as you're honest, it'll be good. If you say nothing's ever happened to me, well, we find out the medical records show you just had a heart attack yesterday. It's going to be a pre-existing. So if you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, it will not be considered a pre-existing condition for purposes of determining eligibility for future vascular or cardiac events. So if you have these and you come with us and God forbid, someone gets a heart attack or a stroke, we're going to share in those expenses. So it's not an all or nothing, like I said before. So the pre-existing too, if you're pregnant and you come to us, welcome you and the baby, it's going to be considered a pre-existing. But if you come to us and you get pregnant, I would say after 4 months of being with us, and the due date is a year after you came with us, it doesn't matter when the baby happens to be born, because the baby might be born a little bit early. As long as the due date is a year and a day after you joined, that will be a shared event or shareable expense within the community. So are there any questions that came in about pre-existing? I know this is a big one for people.
Not at this time. We've
Okay,
got
perfect.
people watching and nobody's asked any other questions at this point.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And then in terms of businesses, if you know business owners or if you have employees yourself, we can offer this for businesses, which is really incredible. And you can choose to have it, deducted from the paycheck. You can contribute as much or as little as you want. And the prices are going to be what they are for everybody else. So if you have one employee, you don't have to worry about, am I going to get a discount because I only have one employee versus 30? No, it applies across the board, which is really, really nice. And so there's a lot of flexibility. Sharon and I were talking about it yesterday, and creativity that we can do in working with business owners. And also you could just refer it to your employees if you're not required to offer this, or if you know other 1099s. And if you have an employee who becomes, who you offer it to and they go on somewhere else, they can take it with them. They'll just become the person that's responsible financially. So that's a really nice added value, just to be kind and make a difference for people, which is really, really awesome. And then for those who are 65 and older and on Medicare Parts A and B, this functions as a supplemental as well. So the parts of Medicare that aren't covered, oh, that looked like it didn't come all the way through. Oh, there we go. Okay, I must have paused it. We'll fill in the gap. So it doesn't matter if you've got all the sorts of pre-existings for when you're 65 and older and on Medicare Parts A and B. Come to us. It would be an individual plan, not a family plan. And then it's about on average $100, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. And then it's $1,000 PRA or deductible. So there's lots that we can do for our friends who just have an ITIN number and maybe don't have a social security number. We can work with them if they have a US issued ID or from Mexico or Canada or Guatemala. So there's a lot that we can do for a lot of our communities. And we offer this in 47 of the 50 states. So if you're in Washington State, Rhode Island, or New Jersey, we wouldn't be able to offer this to you. But if you're a member with us and you want to see a specialist there, or you happen to get sick and want to be seen there, you of course can do it. But if that's your permanent address, then we wouldn't be able to work with you yet. We're looking at bringing on New Jersey, hopefully by the end of this year. But yeah. So that's the general idea of the healthcare. Did you ladies have any questions, or did anyone have any questions?
I can't think of any right now to ask, because I feel like you've been very thorough with what you just went over, and anything else would probably be more specific to the
Case by case.
Asking.
Perfect.
Renee, do you have anything that you can?
No, just if someone who's listening does want to get a quote from you, what is the process, Jen?
Yeah. So we can go ahead and share, Cheryl will have a link that we can share. Maybe we can put it on the different outlets that you have. And it would be exactly like I did it. All we would need is they could play with it and say, hey, I've got 5 people. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? They would just need the year of birth of the oldest person in the family. And then if it's 1, 2, 3 or more, and that quote that you get will be your quote. You don't have to, do like a blood sample or urine sample or anything like that. You just sign up if you're ready to go. It takes 10, 15 minutes. And then you'll be ready to start that next month. So it's a very quick process. They do it on, the honor system. So we're trusting that you're going to be truthful when you answer the questionnaire. And it's just about 30 questions about your health history. Yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
so I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When it comes to pre-existing conditions, we'll use my husband as an example. He was just having his back was bothering, like 2 muscle cramps in his back. So he finally, I insisted that he go to the doctor, and he got some medicine for that. So that would be considered a pre-existing condition, even though it was just like muscle.
Yeah. So I mean, there's several things that are not considered pre-existing, although you've gotten treatment for them. Like my friend, she deals with, heartburn and has been taking medicine for years, and they didn't consider that a pre-existing. So for like case by case like that, I would want to just say, so I can like honestly tell you yes or no, but there's multiple things that are like, no, that's just what happens. That's just a part of, living. Oh, I got COVID. Okay. That's not considered a pre-existing, things like that. So I'd want to triple check before I spoke, and this is recorded. I would want to make sure that I'm telling you that, but we would talk with them, and they would be able to, I'll answer those questions. We'll put them on for sure. But I'm not for sure on that one. I do know that we have physical therapy and chiropractic and other types of therapy where after you meet your deductible, there's 50 visits. So, I mean, all of that will go towards your deductible, which is really nice, but it's really great. So
So holistic care is included. It would go towards your deductible?
Not all holistic care. So we're actually in the process of bringing that on, because our nonprofit is for the members. So they send us surveys and they say, what are you looking for? What would make this more appealing to you? And so that's one area that they're in the process of getting a part of. So acupuncture doesn't go towards it, and kind of like the more of the like the holistic non-traditional doesn't. Chiropractic does. So part of it does, but we're working towards getting that because a lot of people are asking for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm all about acupuncture and massages, and like I get to go do that, and I don't need the other stuff.
Yes. You and me both. And I know you had mentioned at the beginning that I was going to share also that there's a way to be able to make referral money, and I can just go over it in just maybe 3 or 4 minutes just to give the broad idea. If people are interested, we can also have another conversation about that. Does that work for you? And I know I want to check in for time as well.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah, we're fine with time.
Okay.
I mean, Renee and I just talk a lot. So, but I was breaking up at the beginning. Did you mention about the other different things?
I haven't yet.
Okay. If you could just kind of give a quick rundown that there's these other things that are available, and then you can, talk about the referral aspect too.
Most definitely. Yes. So we do have 9 different services that we market, and healthcare is one of them. So we offer it for residential and for business owners, which is really, really great. And because of our partnership, oftentimes people get really great value, and that value oftentimes translates into cost savings, which is really great. Cheryl and I were just actually looking at her cell phone, and I think we were going to be able to save her $1,500 a year if she were to come and be a customer. So that's just one way that we're able to help people. So I'll show you the list and what it would look like also to be a referral partner, which is really great. So this is the list along with the referral startup fee. So we have wireless service, so cell phone service. We have healthcare, like I just went over. We have electricity and gas in 19 states, a lot of them on the East Coast, Texas, California, and kind of spread out. We have a travel membership that offers really great savings, high-speed internet in most of the country, home and business security with our partner Vivint. We have payment processing. So for business owners who accept credit cards, we do a meet or beat. If we can't meet or beat what you have, we'll give you a $250 gift card just for allowing us to try and earn your business. So this is a great way that business owners are able to save. And then we've got identity theft protection, which if you've ever gone through that, you know what a headache it is to go through, and it monitors, it's very comprehensive in terms of what it monitors and keeps track of. So these are the different services that you use just in your own residence or personally, and potentially for your business too. So it's a great way to be able to have value, comprehensive care, and coverage, all of that good stuff. So if you're interested in the referral aspect of it, you don't have to get a health license. You don't have to go and like do all of these CEUs or things like that. It's really, it's off the shelf, ready to go for you. It's a one-time fee of $299. And then it's $25 a month for business support. So what does that mean? Well, you've got a person, whether it's yourself and you want to make residual income off of your own services, or it's your community or your clients. There's way you can instantly say, hey, I've got 9 divisions that I opened up in my business, which are cell phone, healthcare, energy, travel. You know what I mean? Like, so it's another way to be able to create value for our community and create residual income. So what you're paying for is for our company to be able to do all the pricing, updating, customer care, and service. So you can focus on your business and continuing to expand it, but we just take a person and a service, make the connection, and we get out of the way. That's what we do. So that's what you're paying for monthly. It's the website, which we know as entrepreneurs, if you're doing your own website, it would be a lot more than this. All of the marketing tools, everything's included in there, which is really, really nice. So that's what it takes to get started. And then we make money in a couple of ways. And I can show that to you really, really quickly. We make it upfront, and then we make it residually, which I know if you're like me, the residual part gets really exciting. The upfront's kind of like, okay, yeah, that's great. But I'll just touch on this really, really quickly. So for when you get started, like I was telling Cheryl yesterday, I'm one person and I have 9 services. So let's just say we've got 5 services. It could be 5 bills, right? So if I do my own healthcare, cell phone, electricity, home security, and identity theft protection. If it makes sense for you to be your own customer, why not be your own customer and make a percentage of that, every single month? So with your first 5 services, you get a $200 bonus, and that's paid out weekly, one time, but weekly. And then if you were to get 3 additional services, so your business partner, a family member, whoever, we help them get really great value for every 3 additional services. It doesn't matter who these people are, anyone in the US. Well, we're in 27 countries also, but we'll just stick with the US for now. But you get 3 more, and then you'll get an additional $200, and that's unlimited every month. So you don't have to get it, but hey, you can go out and get as much as you'd like, or not at all. And then on the back end, we make 3 to 20% on the monthly commissionable revenue. So to get to 20%, you would need a certain number of services, and you would be making 20% of the commissionable revenue on all the services that you get. So what it would look like for healthcare, because that's what we're really excited about. They're all great, but healthcare is just a big racket, and like we're able to come in and really disrupt the health insurance industry. But let's say you just had 25 health customers, you'd be about 10% at that point. You'd be making about $400 residually. And if you got 50 Impact Health Sharing members and you're at 20%, it would be $1,600 a month residually for doing work one time, which is, I think, what excites a lot of people. And let's just say you got 100 and you'd be at 20%, it would be about $3,200 a month residually. So it's a way to be able to bring value to people like us, hardworking people. And it's a simple referral. Like we could just type in their information and Impact could contact them, get them set up, do all of the explaining. So it really is a referral system for sure. And then of course, other people are going to be interested. Insurance brokers love this, bookkeepers, accountants, people who do business to business. I mean, there's so many people, so many different industries that this can be an added value to what you've already built. You worked hard for what you have, right? You've been able to bring value to people to grow your business. Well, what if you can bring value to them in other ways? Real estate investors, contractors, realtors, they're getting people into houses. They need these services. Like the sky is the limit. So if we brought people onto your team, they're going to get customers, and you'd be able to make 4% of whatever the customers that they bring in of the commissionable revenue. So if you brought in 2 people, and this is just impact, I'm not even including electricity and gas and cell phone, but this hypothetical is just for our healthcare. If you had 2 people come in, and they each got 25 impact members, that could be 5 businesses that have 5 employees each. That would be $350 residually for you. If you got 10 of them and they each brought 25, that'd be $1,600. And if you had 25 people come in and each get 25 impact, that'd be $4,000 residually on a monthly basis for you, which is really, really great. There's a couple of other ways we get bonuses, but that's the broad idea. We just bring value to people. To be a customer of one of these services, it doesn't cost you anything. It just costs you whatever you're paying for the service. So if your cell phone's $50, you pay $50. You just get to benefit from it because Cheryl's made this strategic partnership. Now, if you want to be able to create residual income from it, then we start you up and we just bring value to your community and see where we can make a difference for people.
All right. Thank you, Jen. I mean, that was amazing. Like I said, I got super excited about it. We started going over my bills this morning and looking at different ways that I could save. Now, electric isn't available in my area, but we're big co-op area down here in the boonies. But a lot of other things were, and I'm a diehard Verizon girl for years now, and I was super impressed with the cell phone option that was there. So I'm going to talk to Steve. I might just have to switch over. Now, my oldest daughter, it's on the T-Mobile network. So my oldest daughter is already on the T-Mobile network. So I'm going to talk to her about switching over because it's going to save her money because she pays for her and her daughter's, my granddaughter's cell phone. So I'm going to talk to her and my youngest because I think they're also on T-Mobile. What is with T-Mobile? I mean,
taking over. It's a T-Mobile takeover.
I'm so diehard Verizon that it's
yeah.
But anyway, there are the options. Me personally, I'm not aware of what the insurance costs are for families because my husband is union and everything it's just part of his package. So, but depending on what it would cost me, for me at 53, I would have to consider it being a supplemental because of the flipping the televisits.
Yeah.
I mean, when they went and charged me and I complained.
Oh,
and I got a reduction on the bill.
Oh, good.
But, yeah, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
So I kind of negotiated a little bit my own, but yeah, they didn't tell me it was going to be more. They just said, well, you could just do that tonight on the phone if you wanted to. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's what I did.
Right.
Turns out she gave me all of them. I'm also against PAs. So we'll just put that out there and I'll stop there. But yeah, no, it's all of the different things are very advantageous to people. There is the ability to save money, but nobody's going to pressure you. It's literally, we look at your bill or you look at your bill and look at what they offer and you can tell whether it's going to be a good thing or not. And it doesn't cost you anything but a few minutes.
Yeah.
So if the only thing that it would cost you would be if you wanted to make this a side business for yourself. And otherwise it's just, and that I feel like that is a great point, because you can save people money. And for me, I look at people's budgets all the time. I look at people's taxes all the time. Mm-hmm. So I I can look at these and say, hey, do you want to check this out? Because we might be able to save you a few dollars. So that's that. And if anyone has any questions, you guys can reach out, and Jen will be around to answer questions. I've been spending a whole lot of time with Jen, so I can answer some of the questions, and just let us know.
Yeah, and you can share my contact information too. I'm not sure the best way to do that, but if that's something you can add on after something.
I
So if
can
people have questions-
add it in the description.
Perfect.
You need to tell me what you're willing to have in public, and
Yep.
And we can add it in the description for
Perfect.
both.
Definitely. Yeah. And if anyone wants us to just look at your bill, you could send it over to Cheryl or send it to me, and then we can do a quick assessment and let you know if we're a good fit or not. So if you're just curious, like, I wonder how this would work, happy to answer any questions until you feel comfortable, and you get to choose what would be best for you.
Perfect. So can we talk about the elephant in the room? Hey, Miss Barbie Renee.
Oh. Has anyone seen the Barbie movie yet? Anyone here on the call? Let's see. I took my glasses off because there was a glare. No one on Facebook yet. Well, I know. Well, my mom's going with us today, so we'll see. I've heard
I have not, but I have started using Barbie as a keyword in some of my listings on eBay.
Oh, I'm sure that brings attention.
I hope so. So yeah, if I have because I sell bras on eBay. So if I have a pink bra, I started adding Barbie to the title.
Right.
Does anyone have any on here?
Have you seen all of the AI? Let's bring up some AI. All the AI photos where they're doing different celebrities as Barbie or Ken.
No.
Oh my goodness, some of them are really, really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So really good. I saw one, like Prince was perfect.
Oh, I'll have to. Where did you see this, on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm sure it was on Facebook, and it was probably in one of the Midjourney groups.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like, there was this one post, and it had probably 20 or 25 different celebrities.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was, some of them were like, I don't know who that is. And then some of them, it was obvious who it was. Rihanna was in there. You could tell. You could totally tell. And I'm not, huge into that, but I knew it was her. Prince, Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great. I wish I had thought about this ahead of time. If I had known that you were going to be dressed up for the Barbie movie, I would have pulled this stuff up.
I wasn't planning on it, but my teenager, she was like, "What are you wearing to the movie?" And I said, I didn't know I was supposed to dress up, but I'm on it. Don't threaten me with the good time I'm in. So I'm going to dress the little boys up too in their little Ken outfits.
Oh,
Max said, not my cup of tea.
For the movie. Yeah. You know what? I couldn't even tell you what it's about. I mean, obviously I know it's about Barbie and Ken, but I just don't know the storyline. So I'll report back next week for sure.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. That's got to be fun. So, all right. I don't know about you, but the greatest, what was it? The Babylon guy? The book?
Yes.
Whatever book it was that we've been supposed to be finishing up. Every time I go back and I try to finish it, it's like, okay, if you listen to the first hour and a half, you've got it. It's like the rest of the book is just reiterating the same concept over and over again. Put your money to work for you.
Right.
Don't give it to people that are going to waste it, or they don't know what they're doing with their own money.
Right.
always stick with people that are where you want to be, not
Right.
less than you. So if you just follow those simple rules, you can listen to the first half of it and you don't even have to listen to the whole 4 hours.
Jen, have you read the book, The Rich Man in Babylon?
I have not yet read it. No, I've heard it though. I need to.
We've been
Yeah.
listening. We've been listening.
We
Love
listened to
it.
it. It was written in when, Cheryl? 1912? 19.
Something like that. Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, it's pretty accurate still.
So I'm on to a new book and I actually ordered the book.
What's the book? Oh, yes. Oh, I've heard. Yep.
I don't want to get us in trouble, so I'm not going to say the title.
Yes, I've heard that.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I was doing some social media prompts for scheduling, making up some stuff for social media yesterday, and I actually took a few things. I haven't even gotten through the first chapter yet, and
wow.
I actually took a few quotes out of the book and turned those into social media posts.
That's
so
really
yeah, really good. And one of the groups that I'm in, they did this exercise where it was just flip open the book and what speaks to you. So I did a post the other day of that, and mine was, do you see it?
Yeah.
It says, I got this.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. So yeah, that was fun. So I'm actually using it as, for reading it, staying off my phone a little bit, opening the book, read a couple of pages.
Good.
Thing, and I'm enjoying it so far.
How is your planner going?
It's amazing.
So Jen,
Max said that book is so tiny.
oh yeah, I mean it is tiny.
My head's not that big. So my planner, Renee, I swear, if nothing else comes out of this podcast, my planner is amazing.
Good.
So here's my planner.
Jen, a little background on this is a couple of weeks ago, we worked as a group and helped Cheryl come up with some ideas for a paper planner.
Aww.
Yep. So you take a lot of notes and stickies and all of that. Just a good way to stay organized. I'm a big paper planner user. So I said, you should definitely get this, get the hole punch, get all of the material, and then you can keep everything separate.
And I love the fact that since I have the rings and I have the hole punch, I don't even have to buy special paper.
Nope, sure don't.
It's just my regular printer paper that I already had. And I just punch it and so yeah, it has made, I punched a bunch of pages and I keep these in the back of my calendar, which is the same type of paper. I just keep them loose in the back of my calendar. And each week I add a couple pages or a page and add one as I need it in between. And yes, I'm upside down on purpose. In between the week, so that when we're doing things like this and I need to jot a note down, it's right here. It's right when we talked about it. So I can easily go back. And I was telling Renee, we were talking about last week, there was a bunch of tire stuff issues that I was having. I was able to, from the store, tell my husband where I wrote the note down, and he just flipped back 1 week and found the note right where it was supposed to be. Before this, it's somewhere on my desk, and my desk is organized chaos. My organized chaos. Nobody else is going to come onto my desk and find anything. But yeah, it was like we were on the phone at like literally 10 seconds. He walked in my office. Yeah, it's right here. I just flipped back one page and it's right there. I'm like, yes, this is working. So
it worked. It definitely works.
Max says, I watched the episode.
Oh, is that, oh, yeah, yeah.
What was it, last week or the week before? Week before, we sent Max down a rabbit hole with Chat GPT.
Oh, it's
So if
powerful.
you have not played with Chat GPT, it is a lot of fun.
It
Yeah.
is so smart. Great tool.
Renee, you said you had a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, if you want
I
to.
did. Well, we're coming up on our hour, so maybe we'll save it for next week
Okay.
because I do have to cut it off at an hour today. I cannot stay in chit chat. But if anyone had any questions, Cheryl, did you put just the stuff in the description, Jen's contact information?
I did not yet. I can't do it until after we finish stuff.
Okay. Okay, got it. All right, cool. Yep. Then I will refresh, and it should refresh on my end, correct?
I don't think so, but I'll send it to you.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, once I put the stuff in before the stream starts, and it automatically goes to all of the places. But
Got it.
once the stream starts, I can't go back and edit it and
Yeah.
get it to your channel as well. So
That's cool. That's fine.
Max says he's going to make his own book, and Barbie is waiting.
Yes, Barbie is waiting. Yes. Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining. Let's see. Is there anyone? Nope, just Deborah on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining. As always, if you have any other questions, just leave them. Cheryl and I check our YouTubes a lot, so we will see your we'll see your comments if you come up with something or you have an idea or even someone that you would like for us to bring on the show.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. We are
And-
always interested in
Yep.
bringing someone on that can, help you guys, or whether it doesn't matter what it is. We're
Yep.
open to it.
Yep. So Jen, thank you so much for coming on today. This was very insightful. We appreciate it. And guys, if you have questions, check back in a little bit and all of Jen's information will be available for a message, or you want to test out the website that she did the live demo of.
Great.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.